Okay, so today we're going to have a quick look at the Panther website. Most of you have probably used it. There are a few things on it that you may not realise are there. So let's try and just go through it a stage at a time. So at the moment we're in the home screen, and the main thing you can do here is go straight to the race diary, which we shall do now. And that will list all the races in our diary for the next, for 2025-2026. So if you look down the list, it shows you all of the races that we have got coming up. And if we go back up to the start, so the first race of 2026 is the Green Gateways, and we can click view on that and it takes us straight to the race. When you go to the race, you have got three tab options that you can use. You've got the route, the details and the map GPX. So if you click on the route, that is the one that automatically comes up, and it just tells you a little bit of an overview about the race. So on this one it says it's our season curtain raiser with a number of distances from half marathon to ultra, and that it used to be called the North Leeds Greenway. So there's a little bit of information about all of them. Below the information it also has links to usually YouTube videos that runners that have taken part in the race have recorded their experience, so you can go and have a quick look and see what the course is like and what people's experiences of it are. Next button is you can click the details, and this gives you all the details, which should be roughly the same as what you see on SciEntries, and it tells you when the early bird deadline expires. So if you book up for this race before the 30th of September, you'll get it at a discounted price. Tells you when the entries close, and please note we do not accept entries on the day. This is because we need to have your medical details, and we also need to plan for the number of people that we've got coming. We need to order trackers, t-shirts, medals, trophies, etc. This also then shows you the distances that are available. We do a half marathon for our race series, a 20 mile and a 50k. These are approximate distances. The distances here are the ones that are currently listed on OS Maps to be the distances of the courses that we're offering, and it also shows in feet the climb, so you can see just how much climb there is. Most of our races and all of our race series have ITRA points attributed to them, and so that tells you that you get 1 point if you enter the 14 mile, 1 point if you enter the 20, and 2 if you do the 50k. And for the UTMB, it also gives you your rankings for that, so that you've got, that's a qualifier for the 20k, qualifier for the 20k and qualifier for the 50k. This then shows you that the race series, it's race 1 of 10. Now that is for the half and the 20 mile and the ultra. We also do a 50 mile, which comes in during the spring, summer and autumn months. Maximum entries for most of our races is 200. That's for logistical purposes. It's much easier for us to deal with those numbers, and bearing in mind we're going to areas of natural significance, we don't really want to put too much of an impact on it. We want to leave no trace after we've finished. And then it tells you the time the event closes for all courses. It tells you where the car park is, and it tells you where there are toilets at registration, where the registration is, what times you need to be there, and also for virtually all of our events you cannot have dogs at registration or at the finish, but you can have them outside. For our races we supply trackers, and more on that later. That's for the ultra marathons, although you can hire them for the shorter distances, but if it's for the ultra marathons they're included in the price. For the shorter distances you have to pay. And there's a tracker screen there which gives you your location during the race. More on that in another video. Your route, provisional GPX files of the route are available on the website from the next tab, which we're about to have a look at, but we always send them out in the week or so before the event, and we ask that you delete all previous versions because there may be some last minute alterations due to diversions, footpath closures or obstructions, fallen trees, etc. Taping for our race series, we will tape flag all the routes the week before the race. There are one or two exceptions, but it says on them. But tape can be moved or stolen, so please do not rely on it solely for navigation, but as confirmation of the route. Kit list. We don't do kit checks anymore, but you are expected to always carry the following as a minimum for your safety, and you're responsible for your own safety. We will be carrying out random kit checks on the course and at the finish if we suspect that you are not carrying your full kit, and if that is the case, you'll be disqualified. This kit list applies to all distances, even half marathons, because you can quite quickly go into areas that are reasonably remote and it's very difficult to get to you in a case of emergency. Even on a warm day, if you've been sweating and you become inactive due to injury, you can get hypothermic within half an hour. So for example, we've got a bivy bag there, and we say it must be a bivy bag, not just a sheet, not just one of these silver finish sheets, because in a high wind they just blow off and they don't give you any serious protection. They're actually just to wrap around you at the finish of a marathon when there are lots of people present. Bivy bag is for you to jump in, and it will retain your body heat, and therefore you will hopefully stay as safe as possible until we can get to you. You should also have your mobile phone. Please leave it on at all times. A number of times that we've tried to contact runners who have gone off course, or we're concerned that they haven't reached a checkpoint in what we think is a reasonable time, only to find that their phone's turned off. It makes our job difficult. If the sweepers we have sweepers on the race at the back to make sure everybody's safe. If, for example, they have overtaken you because you've gone off course, they then have to wait around or go back to try to find you. And if you slip through or missed a checkpoint and we can't get hold of you, we're wasting our time, and that's time we could be used elsewhere. So please make sure your phone is switched on. Then personal first aid kit. That we'll go through the full kit later, but personal first aid kit is something that is at your discretion, what you think you'll need. And a hard copy of the map route description. You must carry it with you, because all electronic devices can fail, and if they fail, you're expected to be able to find your way back onto the course or to the finish. And if you are struggling with your own navigation, if at least you've got a map on you and somebody finds you, you can at least ask for their help, showing that where you should be, and any person out there may be able to assist in that. But always, if you do get lost or struggle, please make sure that you've got our mobile numbers in your mobile phone so you can ring us so that we can help and advise. Before every race is a race brief, and that will tell you last minute information of the race. One or two things may have changed even in the week leading up to the race, or it can be just a reminder of certain things that you need to be aware of. Please make sure that you attend the race brief and be quiet while we do it. It's really important that you listen to it. We've had examples of people going wrong and saying, well, I didn't know, and other people have said to them, well, it was in the race brief. So we can't give you every single scrap of information beforehand. Sometimes we need to give you a bit at the end. Then it tells you where the start is, start times, and then all the checkpoints. And it will show you what order the checkpoints you have to visit, where they're located, and for all of our locations we give you what 3 words so you can pinpoint them exactly. Some checkpoints you can have support at, some you can't, but you can always have support at other places on the route. There are cut-offs. If you arrive at a checkpoint after it's closed, you will be retired from the race. Support crews, as I've just said, we ask you really to avoid official checkpoints unless they're in big public car parks. The finish, everybody gets a medal and an event t-shirt unless you've opted out. If you opt out, your t-shirt money will be split between the Yorkshire Air Ambulance and the Upper Wharfdale Fell Rescue Association. We don't do teas for trees. We prefer it to give the money to charity, and the charities that we may need to call on if one of our runners is in distress. There's always hot food, homemade hot food at the finish, and with all the checkpoints and at the finish we do have vegan and gluten-free options. Just a little note there to say that final competitor instructions will be emailed to you the week before the event, and all the results can be accessed either through the link on here, or there is another screen which we will see later. Also, the course records can be found there. We ask, if you are on social media, and you, in particular Facebook, you join our Facebook group, because there are discussions about all of our events in the lead up to the events, and you can discuss things like shoe choice, and also if you want to go out for a recce, it may be other people will come out for you. Then the third button is for the Map GPX. So I'll just select that. So for each of our courses you can download the GPX for it. Now please bear in mind, this GPX is not a file that you can open as it stands. You need an app, a watch, or whatever to download it, and we'll go on to that in another video. But we strongly recommend that you use the GPX for navigation. They're all spot on, we've tested them all, so you just click on that and it will download it to your device, and from there you can load it into other software, and there is free software available, so you don't have to pay money to subscribe to use it, and it can be used on all smartphones and smartwatches. Finally, on here we've got a map tracker link, which will take you to the track trail website, where I'll just click on that. We'll go through this all in another video, but if I click on that, it shows you where all the maps are, where the map is, all the routes are, etc. You can take a screenshot of that if you want, or you do get more detail in the directions that we send you in the final instructions. So come on to that later. I'll just come back from that. The other thing that you've got is a sign up button, and that allows you to go through to Scientries. I'll just click on that. We'll go through Scientries later in another video too, but that gives you all the details and how you can sign up for the race and how much they all cost, etc. So we'll just go back to the main screen. So that basically is how you access the information about the events, and they're all there all the way through. I won't go through them all now. So I'll go back to the home. So that was the race diary. Next on here, you can go directly into the races from here, and if you click on here it will take you through to our next race. So our next race, I'm recording this in August 2025, so our next race is this Saturday, and it's Panther Takes the Hindmost, and it's also got next year's date in there as well, and that gives you all the details of that race. So again, let's go back to the main menu. So if we click on results, that's the next one across the top. You've got the results of all of our races. Now what it does here is, if we'll use the green gateways again, if we click on view results, it will take us to a spreadsheet where it will give you all the results. So there we've got the 34-mile race all the way down 20.5, and you have got in the bottom left hand corner you can access different years results. So that's 2024, etc. And you go all the way back to our first ever race in 2017. There we go, when there was just 30 people taking part. Now this is external to our website, it's on Google Sheets, but we've got a little handy box here where you can go back on the Punk Panther website links to go back to the, in this case, to the main menu. So there we go, back to the main menu. Next we have a shop. Now not many people will perhaps realise this, but we have a shop with various items that you can purchase. You can purchase them direct from the website. Certain items we hold in stock, and we can dispatch them within sort of 24-48 hours, but many of the items we have to order, and they will take up to 10 working days to dispatch to you. So there we go. One quick thing, if you're ordering a gift voucher, we really do ask that rather than select the gift voucher there, you send us an email and then we will go through it with you. So whilst you can order all these items on the website, you can also send us an email to order them and save yourself the postage, and we will bring them to you at the next race that you attend. So you've got various options. You can order it direct, or you can order it through us direct for collection. Otherwise it gets posted. Right, next one on this list is the contact, and that's just if you want to get added to our mailing list or want to send a message about anything, you can, although it's just as easy to send us a message at admin@punkpanther.co.uk. Next one is our race series, and here it shows you the current standings for 2025. I'll come on to that in a second. So the 2025 race series, which we're in the middle of, there are 4 race series: 50 mile, 50 kilometre, 20 mile and half marathon. Only the points scored in each distance counts towards the Runner of the Year trophy for that distance. There is 1 trophy in each group for the male and female categories, and in the 50 mile series the best 5 from 7 races count, and in the rest of them it's the best 7 from 10. There are some minor trophies for the age categories as well. So these list the eligible events and which ones have the 50 mile races, and then we've got the point scoring system. Next year we're reducing the number of 50 mile races that qualify to 1, 2, 3, 4 races, because we realise that many people struggle to do a 50 mile race every month in the sort of summer period, and so to give everybody a fair chance, all 4 races count. So get them booked in your diary for next year, get all 4 races booked and give yourself a chance in the race series. So if we just go and look at the current standings, this is another trip over to Google Sheets, and you can see that currently on the 50 mile 2025 we've got Kev Lyman is leading on 1418 points, with John Blundy in second place on 1361, Graham Molyneux third 1179. And if you look in the bottom left hand corner, you can also select the 50 kilometre, the 20 mile and the half marathon series. And we also keep records of every series we've done all the way back to 2017 when we first started. We used to have a race series right from the beginning, and that was won by Simon Bourke for the MV50 category, Vanessa Ford for the ladies, Hadrian Knight was the highest placed male outside of the age categories, and Alex Wapples was the highest placed senior lady. And again, we've got the links back to the Punk Panther website, so what we're going to do is go back to the main menu, and that may seem to be it. However, what perhaps people don't realise is there's not exactly a secret section, but there's an additional section which we scroll down to. Here we go. So you've got my telephone number, Mark's telephone number, and admin@Punk Panther is our email address. You can just click on that and send us a direct email. We've got links to our Facebook site, our Instagram site and our X site, although we're not really using X at the moment anymore for various reasons. So there's also useful links. So we're going to explore these because they don't get looked at as much as I think they should, because there's not enough room on the main menu. So let's click the Hall of Fame first of all. The Hall of Fame takes you to Punk Panther Miles Run, Hall of Fame, past winners and most race wins. So I'm going to go to the Punk Panther Miles Run first of all. Now this is a big spreadsheet, and if we click on it, depending on the speed of your machine and your download, it takes a little bit of time to load, because there's every person that's ever run every race they've ever done with us is on this spreadsheet. So please check it out, and if you think we've got it wrong, let us know. So on here it tells you the total number of miles that you've run with us, the number of races you've run with us, and we've held 91 races so far, the total number of miles you've run each year. So for example, if we'll take Kev Lyman at the top here, he's run 2,684 miles with us over 61 races, and he's done 321 miles this year, and these are the races that he has taken part in this year. Last year he did 409 miles, and in 2023 he did 426. So you can see from the top all the races that we've ever held and the mileages that everybody's ever done. The first 4 have all done 2,000 miles with us. Richard Whittaker's about to hit 2,000, and we've got 22 people that have done over 1,000 miles with us. And if you do 1,000 miles, you get a personalised hoodie, a framed certificate detailing all the races that you've done, and you also get a trophy, an award that is permanent for you to keep commemorating that as well. And you get additional ones at 2,000. And if you look down the list, you'll see everyone's down here, and I'll just nip to the bottom of the screen just to show you that we have had a total of 3,245 people start a race with us, and combined they've actually run nearly 250,000 miles. So all the stats you could ever want are there, or a lot of them anyway. That one we don't have a return button, so I'll just click back to the main screen. That's it, the Hall of Fame. Right, so the race series points we've already gone through earlier. Past winners, if we click on that, it will show you all of the past winners of our races. So the top we've got all the race series summarised there, and then when you come down you've got all the different race winners of all the different distances, and we've got male, female, MV50, FV50, MV60, all the way across. And those that are in orange are the fastest for that category, and those with the yellow background, that is the course record. But please bear in mind that course records, the courses vary from year to year. Sometimes they're a little bit longer, sometimes a bit shorter, sometimes we have to put diversions in, so they can't be compared 100% directly, but for the purposes of our races, that's what we've got. So we can see all the different winners there. Right, so back to the menu. In fact, that one has got a back click on it, so let's go back to the Hall of Fame. So the last one is most race wins. Those with 2 or more race wins are listed, and that just tells you who the people that have won the most races with us. So Stephen Kirk is the champion with 22 races, followed by Petra and Pam, who have both won 12. So let's go back to the main menu, and we'll look down into the little bit here. So we've got a Marshal's Corner. If you are injured, or if you don't feel yourself fit enough to do a race, or you can't commit to a full day to race, we ask perhaps you could help us out by marshalling, and there are various jobs. And if I click that, so the various marshalling jobs: car parks to direct cars, registration, checkpoints, crossings, sweepers, finish and transport. Not all races require all these types of marshals, but if you're available, it would be great if you could help us. You get marshal credits for up to 4 hours or over 4 hours, and those credits can be then used against races. And there's a little button here that you can click to see how many credits you've got. So there we go, that's the marshal credit sheet, so you can see how many you've earned, how many you've claimed, and how many you've due. So we try to keep a record of all of that. So let's go back to the main menu. The 1,000 Mile Club, just a little record. Although it was on that other sheet, this just records the members of the 2,000 Club and the 1,000 Club in the order that they became members of the club. Okay, let's go back again and go down. Race series we've already dealt with, as you've seen. That's actually the same as at the top of the screen. Then we've got season tickets. Up until the end of the year, we offer a season ticket discount. If you are looking at racing with us at least 6 times in 2026 and you are able to purchase your tickets before the end of the year, contact us and you will get a 10% discount off the early bird price of each race, even if the early bird has already expired. If you're prepared to pay for 6 races, you get a really super price. But please note there are no refunds, but if you're unable to make a race, let us know before the entries close, which is 2 weeks before the race, and we will transfer the amount that you paid to another race. Okay, next one, we have got our refund policy. This is very important to note. We think it's one of the most generous in the industry. Please read through all of this. But basically, the nub of it is that you can take out insurance, which costs an additional 8.5%. That is not with Punk Panther. That is with a third party, and any claims should be made direct to them. As I've said, we do not offer refunds, but you can defer your entry to next year's race or to another event of the same value within 12 months, provided you let us know before the race closes. Once the race is closed, the only option you've got is to transfer your entry to another runner, and you must do this yourself. You can't do it through our Facebook page, because we don't want that clogged up with people offering races. So we also note we don't offer any personal injury insurance or income protection. Your participation in our events is on the understanding that we cannot be held responsible for any injuries or loss of income that may result from you taking part. If you do require that additional level of cover, you must organise it yourself. So I think it's fairly fair that as long as you let us know within 2 weeks of a race, we will transfer that entry to another race. We'll only do that the once though. You can't keep doing it and keep deferring, and you can defer for up to 12 months. Right. Finally, before I do the important information, I'll just do a quick one here about Punk Panther, and it just tells you a little bit about my history, how I started up Punk Panther, and some thanks to people that have helped us with it. I'm not sure if that link still works, but there's an interview with me on Calendar ITV News about a little bit about Punk Panther and my running. Have a read of that if you want. Any questions, or if you want to know any more, just let me know. Right, back to this important information. Here we have got a screen where it goes through your kit list, your trophies, the trophies, heat exhaustion, Lyme's disease, countryside code, our trackers, safety and runners and support crews, safeguarding, buddy runner and dogs. Please read this. I won't go into it too much detail at the moment. Kit list, it's shown on all the races, and I'll go through that in a separate video. Trophies, because a lot of our races have a smallish number of entries, we adopt a policy that if we have up to 29 runners, you only get first place trophies. 30 to 39 first, second, and then 40 plus first, second, third. It devalues trophies if we're giving out trophies to virtually everybody, and in the age categories we just give out first place trophies. We also award non-binary trophies as well. We can make personalised slate trophies for any position at a cost of £15, but they are available for collection at a future event, as they do not post. They snap easily. They fracture in transit. The wooden ones we will also make for you for £7.50, and we can personalise those. At the moment we do wood slices for all of our trophies, and they do post, but that would be £2.50 postage, so £10 including postage. There's a bit there about heat exhaustion, which is worth knowing, because you need to know the signs of it, because if you're out and about and you start suffering it, as I have done, you need to know what to do and how to deal with it, and to make yourself safe. Lyme's disease, this is a big issue if you get an infected tick bite. The majority of us don't, but it's always worth knowing about it and what to do if you get a tick bite, and how to reduce the getting it. The countryside code is something that we ask you all to abide by, and we publish a link to the current countryside code. It's fairly self-explanatory. Don't leave any litter, close all gates, leave no trace, respect the areas you're going through, and leave it for others to enjoy. Trackers, I'm going to do a separate video on trackers because I think that's an important one. And then safety support runners. Safety of our runners is our number one priority, and please read this. You can have a support runner running with you. Now there are certain restrictions to that, but if you read it through, it will tell you basically they mustn't carry your kit. It's mainly for the hours of darkness. They're not included in our insurance or medical services, and they can't use our checkpoints. We don't take any responsibility for them whatsoever. They're there to help you during darkness. If you need them at other times, please contact us and we will discuss and arrange. There's another issue here which people may not be aware of: safeguarding. We take this very seriously too. If you don't wish your name to appear on the entry list, because our entry list is publicly available, please inform SciEntries Direct and they can and will alter this for you. It can be done before or after by emailing them. If you are running with a tracker and do not wish your name to appear on the tracker screen, please email us and supply an alternative name to appear instead. This will also go on the checkpoint sheets so that they will be prepared. So be prepared to be called by that name on the day. It's basically we are aware that there's the potential that if you are running out on moors and your name appears on the tracker, if somebody knows that you're there and on your own, we don't want that. If it could be an issue for you. Your results will appear under your real name unless you request otherwise after the event. We are aware in all of this with safeguarding that certain occupation such as blue light services and educators are often asked not to use their real name in public arenas because that can lead to issues around their occupation, and we're very aware of that and will take that into account if you ask us to. All photos during the race, this is important, may be used on our website and social media unless you advise us that you do not wish them to appear. You can do this beforehand, but if you do notice them on our website or you do notice them on Facebook and you don't want them there, we will remove them immediately, or as soon as we possibly can, I should say. If you have any further concerns, please contact us in the strictest of confidence. We also have introduced a buddy runner system. If you are new or inexperienced or are nervous about going around on your own or don't like the thought of being on a moor on your own, we have people that can run at 3 miles per hour, and if you want to run at 4 miles per hour, we will do our best to accommodate you if you let us know in advance. So we will look after you if that's what you would like. Finally, dogs. I'm not going to go into all the policy. We allow dogs on all of our races, but because all of our races take part on public footpaths, they're not allowed in buildings, and we do have a policy whereby we ask you to start after the rest of the pack, because dogs can get excitable and there are people that are nervous around dogs and there are dogs that are nervous around people. So if you read through that, you're very welcome to bring your dog along. If your dog is canicross, they're non-competitive, because we have seen instances of dogs pulling runners along and other runners complaining. So that is about it for the website and everything that you can find on it. I'll just go back to the home. So happy exploring. I know it's taken a while, but there's an awful lot there and an awful lot that you can look through, and there'll be some more videos coming up shortly of some of the other things like trackers and kit lists. So stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, and please hit the like button because that will help our cause. Thank you.